and organized labor, and everybody in this country, democracy have, the young people, women, everybody said that something was killing this nation, which is galamsey. The president who had the power to grant mining leases or licenses for people to mine in forest reserves, and in fact exercise that discretion in the most arbitrary manner, and that's why we landed where we are, told everybody, including organized labor, that we will revoke the LI 2462. And so for that matter, it was so urgent that we will recall Parliament so that we will revoke it, so organized labor cannot go to. Now, please, I want you to help viewers yourself and read for viewers as part of the memo and the petition.
The agent's government business.
The agent's government business. Where in that do you have a revocation of the LI 2462? Where?
It's not there.
It shows you the dishonesty of this government. They lie to every Ghanaian that the NDC and President Mahama was against free SHS. And for today, whatever our challenges are, if you have a kidney issue, it can be solved by free SHS. If you have finished school for 7 years, 5 years, you cannot find jobs, it is free SHS. If you complain about the prices of bread, yam, Milo, water, sugar, your solution is free SHS. They told us that they were bringing an act to Parliament to protect the free SHS. Please read again. Do you have any bill on the free SHS? So it should tell you that these guys are dishonest. For all the things they have listed, government just wants to go for $250 million loan. Again, at the time when our debt to GDP is practically killing us, we are not even out of the debt exchange. People are suffering. We are talking about a time when we are grappling with inflation, economic hardship. A lot of things are going on wrong. Government's focus is to go for an additional loan. And you know that the most painful one is to give businesses tax incentives. As if it was not enough that in the past, Nanado gave his brother-in-law tax incentives. Is that how we use the powers of the state to benefit ourselves and then gaslight the citizens and turn back and blame the NDC that does not have the responsibility to do any of these things? I want Ghanaians to know this morning that the NPP are a group of dishonest people who say one thing and they do differently.
All right, Beatrice, the genesis of this whole issue and why we are here today, flowing from this memo that we have seen from the NPP asking the Speaker to reconvene the House, is the fact that there's a disagreement about who's majority and who's minority.
There is no disagreement.
The NPP is holding itself as majority. The NDC is also holding itself as majority. Now, the Supreme Court made a ruling staying the execution of the Speaker's decision or declaration in the House, saying that the 4 seats, or declaring those 4 seats vacant. Why is the NDC, even after the ruling of the Supreme Court, still holding itself as majority?
The Speaker made a pronouncement that the NDC is the majority. In fact, we must agree that this is the same Speaker that when Parliament was in session, the first sitting of Parliament, NDC had 137, NPP had 137. Nobody had more numbers than the other. This is the same Speaker that said that the NPP was the majority. Now, this is the same Speaker saying that
one independent candidate was doing business with the NPP.
But yes, that's true. So that is the same Speaker who said that the NPP was the majority. So if the same Speaker, by reason of the fact that...
But there's no confusion there.
Who told you?
Because one independent candidate is doing business with one side.
Okay, so let me ask you. Now that that one independent candidate has stopped being an independent candidate and is a member, is no longer a member of the, or now an NPP person, do you think that the Speaker, on the basis of the same capacity of the same man, should not declare another party?
Which he did. Now, the Supreme Court has said that that declaration
if you watch
should
the proceedings,
stay.
Now, if you watch the proceedings of that day carefully, the Speaker said, I have been served with something from the Supreme Court.
You mean the day he adjourned?
Yes. And Parliament must take a decision on that matter.
So following the Supreme Court ruling, Parliament must still make a decision.
That's what the Speaker said.
So the Supreme Court ruling does not, so to speak, override.
Yes, Parliament must take a decision.
Okay.
Whether within the understanding of the Constitution and the standing orders, the Speaker was bound or Parliament will not be bound. The Speaker said we had the numbers to do business,
but not to make a decision.
But we do not have the numbers to make a decision. So if the NPP wants us to believe that there are so many urgent matters for which reason Parliament ought to have taken a decision.
That's a different issue.
Whether the Speaker's decision should be stayed or not, they needed to be in the House.
But
so now that they are not in the House,
will respond to that. But I've heard some of your colleague lawyers talk about the fact that the Supreme Court's decision or decisions of the court